Good evening to one and all present here. Welcome to the first day of a 3 days workshop on Bank Audit series. Today we have with us a CA Dhayanidhi who will take us through Concurrent Audit. May I now request SIRC Vice Chairperson CA Ravanathan to escort the speaker to the dais, please. Requesting Madam to escort the speaker to the dais, please. As we are celebrating ICAI's 75 years of independence, integrity and excellence, let's honor its past, engage with its present and envision its future. My ICAI, my pride. Let us all raise for ICAI Motorhome as a mark of respect to our mother institute.
Yaeshasu eshu jagrati Yaeshasu eshu jagrati Kamam 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 Pursho nirvimana Adev shukram Brahma Tasmin lokaha Sarve tadunatyavi kashchan Etadvaita
Thank you. Please be seated. May I now request SIRC Vice Chairperson CA Ravanathan to introduce the speaker to the dais.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Good evening to everyone. A very warm welcome to the speaker of the day, CA Dhayanidhi sir. In our endeavor to actually help our members to keep abreast of all the latest topics and the latest developments in all the areas of audit, we try to have many programs addressed by different people, so that tomorrow when everyone says where is the auditor, that is a question which comes up whenever any problem arises. People generally ask where is the auditor, where is the audit report. Okay, but if we do anything well, everything is well and nobody will call us. So we should only worry when somebody is going to call us. So in that endeavor, we are very happy that CAS Dhayanidhi has accepted to actually deliver his experience and knowledge to all of us in this workshop on concurrent audit. Concurrent audit is something which is actually, even though people say that it is drying up a little, it is not. Banks do need us to ensure that all the compliances and the controls are in place. So sir he has completed his CA in the first CA final in the first attempt, and he has been a faculty. He's participated in the qualification of the faculty training programs for certificate course on concurrent audit, then the post-qualification training course on the forensic and system audit courses, and he's presented papers on bank audits in the regional headquarters and also the branches. In fact, he has taken classes in over 100 locations of ICAI, and his work and exposure with bank central audits and branch audits looks like he's covered all the banks in India. Maybe one city bank or some of the banks are missing, but he's got all the banks in the list here. I have a full page of the names of the banks, and he has done other special audit assignments related to banks like the asset and liability management audit, treasury audit, due diligence of vendors of the bank to whom the services are outsourced, and the special investigation audits. And he also does statutory and internal audits of public sector undertakings, small size companies, and then the mutual funds and tax consultation for various clients. He's done a lot of NBFC audits and trust and non-profit organizations and also educational institutions. He's been conducting coaching classes in direct and indirect taxes for CA, CWA, CS, inter and final students, and is also visiting faculty for a couple of colleges and private universities and presented papers on banking, direct and indirect taxes. And he's involved in social clubs as a president for a few years and conducted blood donation camps, ice cleaning camps and plantation sprees. And obviously he's interested in sharing of knowledge to uplift the people from different walks of life, and he's running a charitable institution for the benefit of mentally retarded, destitute and poor people. It's fabulous. You're not only generous in sharing your knowledge but in also sharing with the society as a whole. We are very proud of whatever you're doing. I think this last one should come first. That is your main USP, and your shows your character as a generous person. So thank you very much for offering to take this for us and accepting our invite. So over to sir.
Yeah, before I hand over the podium to Sir Dhayanidhi sir, may I now request our SARC Vice Chairperson Revati S. Raghunathan to present the speaker with a shawl, health bouquet and a memento as a token of SARC's love and affection. Over to Dhayanidhi sir.
Good evening, friends. It's a pleasure for me to meet you all. Hello. Is it audible?
Yes.
The way in which we progress, probably in the mic also it's not required. See, I want to discuss along with you, not sitting or standing in some other place. I don't think you are a spectator or what is to listen. So let us have an interaction session rather than somebody presents, somebody hears halfway through, halfway on and off. This is not expected. I hear what I expected when this Madam Shri asked me to take up this session. I thought I will be addressing the new youngsters, young birds. So that accordingly I prepared myself. But when I come here, I find that the situation is totally different. The people are very senior.
Young and hard.
So probably by way of an experience, I don't think none of you are having experience in bank audit. All of you are having the bank audit, isn't it? In fact, last Saturday we had on bank audit seminar. Now we are having the workshop on bank audit. Then again the certificate course on concurrent audit is going on. So I would say this bank audit month, for each and every month they call it, no, as far as our profession is concerned. So we will be more focusing on the bank related activities during month. Either we will try to eagerly waiting whether my name will be our firm name, is he empaneled or not. If at all is empaneled, whether I will get a good branch, when I will get, even if I get an appointment letter, whether I will be able to mobilize this much of resources within a short span of time and getting the assignment complete as per my satisfaction. This as per my satisfaction is underlined. In fact, I am very happy that the institute is recognized me as a sound person to address on the bank related topic. In fact, on Saturday I was in Tanjore. I was taking one of the speakers for this bank audit. Now I am here. Again Thursday I will be here as a faculty of certificate course on concurrent audit. Though I am fully engaged with my profession like you, I am a chartered accountant, because whenever I visit any bank or any branch for that matter, first question they will ask, are you ex-banker? I am not an ex-banker. Because anybody is an ex-banker here? Nobody is ex-banker, no? I always I feel that is my thinking is that an auditor cannot supplement any ex-banker, because auditor perception is different, banker perception is different. So if any audit firm engage the ex-banker, the quality of expectations from the banker and the vis-a-vis the real chartered accountant is definitely, I am not using the word chartered accountant because even chartered accountants also is a banker. So I am not using the chartered accountant as far as these ex-bankers are concerned because their thinking and approach is different. Because see, the bank law and practice, they'll put the practice in the front line, then the law. But on the other hand, we are an auditor. First we put the law into first, then only practice. Even for a small example, if you take this RTGS, if somebody is known to them to maintain a good relationship, there are many RTGS are being transferred, affected without getting the proper instruments. Because they think practice, customer relationship is first. But we are here to focus only on the statutes and procedures and formalities. So that is the reason I am telling that. So auditors cannot be substituted by way of an ex-bankers. So their approach is different, our approach is different, their expectation is different. Because what even they found out some mistakes. So then they try to recollect their experience. So they would have faced similar kind of situations.
Most of the advertisements look for ex-bankers.
But it is my personal opinion. I don't want to concur with anybody's view. I don't want to debate on this issue. It's my personal opinion. I think today is a 3 hours session, of which already is half an hour is over. The moment I reach here, first they asked how long you are going to take this session. Then I asked him, no problem sir, if you give me a gift I will leave it immediately. Because my purpose of coming here, see the difference made, according to me, the major difference between you and me, you pay and get CPE. I get gift and CPE. So that is the major difference. It's an advantage for me. I get that CPE along with the gift. My face also will appear in the new institute somewhere here. So that is the expectations. If that is being the expectation from the audience, accordingly I will proceed. No issue. But here, how many of you are not having exposure in the concurrent audit?
Only statutory audits.
Only statutory audits. Good. How many of you are not having any exposure in the bank audits? Good. I think you are newly, you started practice.
I worked in a bank.
Oh, you work in a bank.
And I was asked to do the check. Whatever you are doing now is what I was doing.
Fine.
As an internal chartered accountant, we are supposed to go and inspect the branches, check everything, check irregular advances, check irregular payments, whatever,
Good.
customer service, everything. But as an auditor, I have not done.
Fine.
My expectation in this seminar is to focus what are the things we have to see in concurrent as a concurrent auditor.
So it is something like that. I am a person with full of energy. Okay. So to what extent you want to drive me? So I will come along with you. If you expect me to break, no problem. I will break it at a particular point of time. Because before entering into the hall, just I inquired with this the person who was sitting here there. How many of them enrolled? They said 90%, 90 of them enrolled, registered. Then we get spot registration around 10. Then maximum 100. Out of 100, we can expect a 50% physically present. So already 50% is gone. So there are those who are enrolled to satisfy our institute guidelines. So if out of the 50% present here, how many of them are going to be mentally present here to understand?
So 4:30 is very early. People will join.
Fine. See, if that being the
Nobody comes to
situation,
divert it.
I also face the same problem. So, with this small brief, let us understand because I never stand before any podium or sit and there and give lectures, because this is not the first time. Ever since 2012 onwards, I am interacting with our professionals, our chartered accountants across India. I would say that I am proud, or rather I thank our institute given me the opportunity. I am the person next to the president who traveled all the branches. It's an opportunity for me to travel the extreme east, west, north, south, all places. It's a pleasure for me. It's an opportunity. Instead of I made them to understand, I learned many things from them. So learning is not a stoppage. It's a ever going process. So whenever I receive any calls for any give lecture, I used to think I am getting one more opportunity to learn. That's it. Now, the topic before me for discussion is that under the bank audit, concurrent audit. Before we get into this discussion, I want the basic difference between these two. Wherever I go, I have a confusion. What is the major difference between the concurrent audit and statutory audit? Is there any difference? I want, as a layman, what is the difference? Or a prudent businessman, how we will pursue, how we will perceive.
Statutory audit, we certify the balance sheet and the profit. Concurrent audit, we ensure that the compliance is taken care of.
Then, any other play? It's unfortunately wherever I go, my first question is the difference between the statutory audit and concurrent audit.
Audit is simultaneously done while the operation.
Unfortunately, none of them gave the reply what expected from the audience.
Concurrent audit basically.
External audit is a post-mortem. Concurrent audit is a live work.
Concurrent audit basically audit of day-to-day transaction.
Reporting on a monthly basis.
Statutory audit on basically on the balance sheet of the audit, including the advances, and there is a more important stress on the NPA is the most important on.
Fine, sir. From here I could understand. So you are proving that you are a professional. But I am not a professional. I am purely a businessman. My thinking is always goes with the cost and benefit analysis. The big fundamental difference between the concurrent auditor and statutory auditor is concurrent auditor, more time, less fees. Statutory auditor, less time, more fees. Am I right or wrong?
Respect and the
Respect with fees, lesser time. So you will get everything under the whatever you ask will be given. But on the other hand, if you are a concurrent auditor, even many banks, they are not offering a coffee or tea to me, even having so much of experience in the banking. There are various branches.
Part of the branch.
They are not
Treat as a part of the branch.
part of the branch.
Part
Correct.
and parcel of the branch.
Part and parcel of the branch. The reason is, but the staff, they will get the coffee, tea allowances separately, but we never get anything. So,
It is included in the fees.
yes,
It's included in the fees.
composite.
Yeah.
Because it is a very big packet, It cannot be, it is inseparable. So according to me, I am a businessman. What for I am going visiting the bank? Sir, ultimately, எல்லாரும் பெருசா சொல்லணும். நான் இந்தியாவை தூக்கி நிறுத்த போறேன், அதை பண்ண போறேன், நான் ப்ராமிஸ் பண்ண போறேன், அதெல்லாம் எவ்வளவு சொல்லலாம். கடைசியில எதுக்குங்க எல்லாம் பணத்துக்கு தான் எல்லாம் தன்னோட பசங்க பிள்ளை குட்டிங்க நல்லா சந்தோஷமா வாழணும். அதுக்கு தான் நம்ம போறோம். What for we are taking an assignment? What for we are doing an audit and all? The first thing is to get a remuneration. But as far as the concurrent audit is concerned, are you getting the remuneration which is prescribed by the institute benchmark per day, this much, if you calculate? I think few of you come as not conducted a concurrent audit, probably when they leave, so they will change their mind, no, I should not apply for the concurrent audit. The reason is that, see, for each and every concurrent audit assignment, the partners are expected, not only a senior person, partners are expected to visit the branch twice a week. then the assistants are expected to be in the branch continuously all working days. Even there is a leave, casual leave, sick leave, so many leaves for their staff. But auditors are required to be in the branch for all working days. Then besides, the partners are supposed to visit. If I go and say hello and come back, but how many hours it takes for me to travel from my place to branch and come back? What is the remuneration? If you calculate the number of hours and divide all deficit, like our Indian budget deficit.
Twice a week.
Pardon?
Twice a week.
So, but responsibility wise, infinity. The concurrent auditor's responsibility is infinity. I would say that concurrent auditor responsibility, it is indefined, because in the each and every appointment letter, they used to give the scope of audit. Under the scope of audit, the last line of the scope of audit, they used to mention any other requirement which is expected by the management from time to time. That's it. So even there are many banks, they insist so many certificates. When there is a problem at the management level, when the board wants, there is a regulatory, they have issued certain penal proceedings for which they want to set right things. For that they want a certificate from the chartered accountants. Immediately they catch hold of the concurrent auditor. So according to me, the concurrent auditors in the banking industry, the top management is treating like a slave. I'm sorry to use the word, but it's a fact.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. So whatever certificate they insist, you're supposed to give. This is the situation. So under this situation, what we are going to do, whether we are going to take up a concurrent audit assignment or not. Now, whether we have the sufficient statutory auditors in our hand, the days are not far off of eliminating the branch auditors, because the private bank managements, they have started gearing up to stop appointing the branch auditors. Instead, the entire branches are being assigned to the only 2 to 3 central statutory auditors. So, Nationalized Bank also, they have tried their level best, but due credits to our past presidents and the present presidents. So they have protested this one for excluding the branch audit or reducing the number of branch audits. So that is the reason at least we have the opportunity, at least 1 out of 10 persons are able to get the branch audits. Even that also is going to be reduced over here.
Over decades at this point.
Yes. So now I would say that the majority chartered accountants in practice, whenever they step into the practice, the main source of an income is bank assignments. Many of them, they have survived based on the bank audit assignments, but now the situation is not like that. So you have to think of some other source, some other avenue.
In lesser time you have to complete it.
Yes.
Under pressure.
So this is a scenario, but now this branch audit also is slowly going out of our hands. Now what is left out? The left out is the concurrent audit. So at this stage, whatever be the painful situation, we face it. Professional risk, we face it. So we are taking up this assignment. But as far as the one more challenge before the concurrent audit assignment is what? Do you know that? As far as the concurrent audits are concerned, not only yourself, according to our professionals, cost accountants also competing. Apart from cost accountant, ex-bankers also is competing. So just imagine the competition in the field vis-a-vis the statutory audit. So this is the situation. But We do not know what will be the outcome, what is the outcome when the ex-bankers are appointed as the concurrent auditors. All of us are aware when the PNB branch, when they have forex problem issue faced, there was no comment in the concurrent audit. Then initially they said whenever there is any lapses, immediately they will pointing the fingers on the chartered accountant or the institute. They think everything is institute is irresponsible or just our auditors are the irresponsible. But when they subsequently they came to know that, so that branch was handled by the internal inspectors, by the internal bankers, not by the external chartered accountants. So this is the situation. So as far as the responsibility is concerned, the concurrent audit responsibility is very high. You can handle very big branch of statutory audit within 3 to 4 days. Because in the statutory audit, you are given a liberty to take the samples. Whereas in the concurrent audit, no samples. You are required to verify 100%. Even if you are operating one voucher where this check is not signed properly or unsigned check is on which the payment is made, it is resulting in siphoning of funds. Then when the inquiry comes, they will ask, what did you do? Why you have not verified this for voucher? Why you have not pointed out?
How is it
See, one thing I tell you, if any problem arises, there are various agencies, there are various associations, there are various unions are there to protect the bankers. Do we have any such thing? Even nobody will come to you to pay the advocate fee or represent your case. So this is the situation. But keeping it aside of the whatever negatives of the concurrent audit assignment, why should we take this concurrent audit assignment? The reason is that, see, our profession is noble profession, it is unlike other things. See, what is the difference between our profession and other profession? Our profession, we render service and we hunt for the fees, wait for the fees. Whereas other profession, before do the service, they collect the money and whether they carrying out the job professionally or not, that is different. If you go to the doctor with a cardiac arrest, first you pay 2 lakhs, 10 lakhs, then only he will take. Even if he met with an accident or somebody has some crime has happened against us, if you go to the advocate, first you pay bundle, no account, nothing, then only he will represent the case. Whereas our profession, so we right from the beginning, inception, we have proved ourselves we are not only for money minded. First we render services. Because we are confident that our services will take us to a next level. Because when we render the services, definitely the people will come back to me, that much of confidence. With that confidence only, our profession is sailing all along. But one thing I tell you, in our profession only the write-off is very less. Professional fees write-off is very less, unlike other fields. Because we know ourselves, what is the quality of our work. So that is the reason, in spite of all hurdles, whatever negatives which I am mentioning on about the concurrent audit, we are taking up this assignment. Because merely a fees is not a criteria. So that's why we have taken up this concurrent audit. Now, just basically just I explained the basic difference between the statutory audit, concurrent audit. What is the main object of the concurrent audit? It says that the bank internal audit, where the auditor responsibility is to review and correct assigned bank branch internal control system. It says the main response nowadays, any audit for that matter, whether it is of an internal audit or an statutory audit, the focus or thrust on the risk-based assessment.
They are not calling internal auditors.
Which
Why
one?
they are calling concurrent?
I will come to this. So the main thrust is nowadays is switching into the internal control, because the scenario in which we are passing through, it is not possible to verify each and every transaction. In olden days, if I go back when I started my CA, we used to do the audit in a manual book. Each and every debits and credits are being written manually. The banker, they has to tally the debit and credits end of the day. Then only he will be able to leave. This was the situation. Now it is not like that. So everything is systemized. Debit entry and credit entry, so everything system takes care. But who passed debit entry? Which account is debited? Which account is credited? That is a matter of concern. In fact, in the last seminar where I discussed in the Tanjore, I mentioned that end user funds and solitary credits. Solitary credits, when the account is slipped to an NPA, are likely to slip to an NPA. This is the word which is being used by the RBI circular. I have witnessed there are many accounts which are going to be slipped into an NPA or already slipped in an NPA. How they have upgraded, you know? They are passing contra entry. Debit 1 lakh, credit 1 lakh. The system will go through only the credit entries. It will satisfy, yes, sufficient credits are there, fine. Okay, that account is performing. So, it is nowadays they are tampering the system control. So, it is being engineered. Each and every entries, many transactions are being engineered. Not a realistic entries. So our focus or the responsibility towards the any audit for that matter is to find out the genuineness of the transaction. So there only our professionalism is involved. So here the first foremost requirement from the concurrent auditor is to check the internal control system. If there is a weakness in the internal control system, then the entire working is not a foolproof. We come across many branches where the passwords are being shared. So branch manager, he will share the passwords, his passwords with the assistant branch manager. Assistant branch manager, he will share his passwords with the officer or clerk. Then ultimately the clerk, one hand he will prepare the voucher, maker and checker. He will prepare the voucher, then another hand he will pass the voucher. This is how things are all happening. So in such a situation, how you will verify whether the transaction is genuine or not, whether the internal control system is there or not. So our main role as a concurrent auditor or any auditor for that matter, to check is there any internal control system exists or not, is there any loopholes or is there any weakness in the internal control system. This is very important. The most important challenge to any auditor in internal audit is he sits in branches to audit of branch books, identify branch employee mistakes, ask them to rectify even if they are not directly liable to do so. With all this, maintain good relation with bank employees. See the contradictions. Anywhere you go, even close friend, if you try to comment about each and everything, he will not like you. So nobody likes somebody to comment, but many of them they don't understand. The person who is commenting on the others, he is really helping me. If anybody comment about my activities, definitely I would appreciate the question, because I cannot see my face. For that I need mirror. Similarly, my actions I cannot judge myself. I need someone to say whether I am right or wrong. But unfortunately, in the system, nobody likes when somebody comments about him. The same manner. So when we find out the mistakes and when you ask the branch people to rectify, how can you expect good relationship with them? Is it possible? Or is it not a contradict? So this contradiction, in the contradiction only you will have to survive in the concurrent audit system.
So some banks follow the manager recommendation for monthly fees. See,
Manager?
monthly fees, they want the manager to recommend.
Yes.
It takes 2 to 3 days.
So if manager, if you don't oblige his certain things, he will not pass it. He will intentionally deliberate.
We submit a report on the bill.
Yes.
One copy to RO, one copy to CO. Then whether the
Yes.
manager is recommended or not, we
See,
will
this is how the entire banking system survives. Even I tell you, in one nationalized bank, I don't want to name the nationalized bank.
Job is only to recommend.
Nationalized bank,
it's already
So everything is systemized, all the reports are all system driven. So whatever observation they says, don't spare. See, they immediately after receiving the appointment letter, concurrent audit appointment letter, there will be a initial meeting. In the initial meeting, all big bosses they will come, all GM level and all. They say they will come with the code. Today also, our organizer he said, "Sir, you didn't come with the code because your photo is with the code. That's why I am not able to identify." So the identification nowadays, no dress code becomes for. So similarly, there are many people with the colorful dress. They will come and sit. They will tell, "You don't spare it. You will have to everything. You note it down. If any problem, you tell us. We will solve it. We will see to it. You cleared everything." But what happens, when you note it down, all your observation and put it in the system will not accept. Because this many observation system will not accept that there is a control at the regional office or the zonal office level. Then he will call you, "Sir, don't allow these observations to record, clear it. Don't observation, don't complete it. You ensure that all the observations are to be cleared before you close the report." How it is possible? You see to it that the observations are cleared before you complete the audit. How it is possible? And he has not done, that's why I am mentioning it in the report. How it is possible? But there is an indirect pressure on you not to report. If at all you report, you mention that the report is rectified. Without being rectified, without being actually rectified, you have to mark it as a rectification. Then only the next level they will approve it. So this is the situation. The concurrent audit assignment. So here they say that with all this maintain good relation with bank employees. So we should know the skill to maintain the good relationship with the bankers in spite of all challenges. Now what is the role of concurrent audit? Concurrent audit is an examination.
Sharing this presentation. Will you be sharing this?
In fact, I sent the presentation only today morning. So probably
It will be shared.
You print out.
It will be shared to all the participants.
So they will be sharing with you. Huh?
Just
Yeah.
Just only, not
Don't
right.
spend time on noting down because then ultimately my presentation will not be useful.
hearing is better than.
Yes. In fact, my intention was not to give any presentation. Because if the audience requires the presentation, simply I can circulate the presentation and leave the auditorium. No? So please you follow with me, and if you have anything to say, you are freedom to express your views on that. So here it says that concurrent audit is an examination which is contemporaneous with the occurrence of transaction or is carried out as near thereto as possible. It attempts to shorten the interval between the transaction and its examination by independent person. Here the point is that it says that somebody asked what is the difference between the internal audit and concurrent audit. The difference between the concurrent audit and the internal audit. Internal audit, it is being done once in a year or once in 6 months or quarterly. So there is a gap between the one internal audit and another internal audit, or gap between the event taken place and the monitoring and validation of the such event. Whereas in the case of concurrent audit, but the concurrent audit also a post-mortem job, no doubt about that, because we are not a person as a part of the banking system to approve it. We are not a maker-checker. So once the event is happened, after that only we are stepping into the each and every transaction. So here the gap is very narrowed down. It's a matter of T+1. So that T+1 means the yesterday transaction it is being verified next working day. So that is the reason concurrent auditors are expected to be in the branch continuously on all working days. So there is an emphasis in favor of substantive checking in key areas rather than test checking. So here, first they say it is examination by independent person. Are we really independent person?
Yes.
Say independent person. because we are appointed by the management. So when the appointment is made by the management, do we have independence?
So what steps to be taken to be independent? What steps to be taken by the ICA to be independent?
No. Not ICA. See, independency, each and every auditor's perception and his approach. Here the frame of appointment and the monitoring in respect of concurrent audit system is, though the appointment is made by the management, we are reporting only to the management, not to any outsiders. So in no doubt it is a part and parcel of a banking system. Unlike in statutory audit is different, whereas the concurrent audit is different. But in the banking system, there is a vertical. So this vertical is under the inspection. So inspection is a department which is treated as totally different from the other department, totally separate from the other departments. So the inspection departments are not reporting to anybody in the top management, even MD or ED or whoever be the person, they are not reporting. Instead, they are reporting to the chairman of the audit committee. So that is the difference between the inspection department, which is handling the concurrent audit assignment and monitoring of our observations, and they will place it before the audit committee from time to time. So to that extent, that is the reason it is mentioned that even though the concurrent audit assignment is part of the management system, because of the vertical in nature, it is an independent. In fact, many concurrent audit reports, when you mention the serious comment, there may be a call from the regional office. Regional manager will call you. Why you mention all this? If you mention all these things next year, we will not. We see to it. Your appointment is not renewed.
Zonal side, zonal level.
Yes, this is zonal level. So there are many persons, they used to put pressure on you that don't mention this kind of serious observations and all. But don't compromise on all these things. The reason is, there are two reasons. One is
For statutory audit.
yes, statutory audit, if they mention it, there is a different issue. Because their relationship is once in blue mountain. No? So they will come and stay for 3 days. Then the last day only we used to release the report. So after that we will not look at them. But in the case of the concurrent audit assignment is like a husband-wife. Whether you like it or not, both of them, they have to meet each other. They have to see their face. This is the situation. So whatever be the pressure from any quarters, please firm in your decision. Don't change your decision. The reason is that you are an independent.
I can share my experience.
Yes, sir, very much.
In one of the branch statutory audit, I have been asked by the zonal man, top level, regional level, or zonal. And there he is calling me and asking me, you are putting everything in the main report rather than LFR. I noticed in previous LFR audit, I was asking for all the reports, including LFR. They were not giving those. And they were detaching from the branch level. They are not putting, then I said, if you are not giving this, I will put everything in the main report rather than in LFR. I will copy down all these things in LFR also, whatever is required. But I will put all the main, as you said, qualifications in the main report also. So they cannot, even they detach it at the branch level or in the zone. It will go to the regional corporate office. So they will be able to confirm what are the deficiencies. And I found out the next audit when I was going, I have been told by the branch, the branch manager has been shifted to some other branch. So this is the way they are doing all these tactics.
Yes.
And I have been called by the zonal manager, why are you doing all this, putting in everything? And I found all these things, lapses here. I cannot leave it. No, you make it all this, all positively and ensure that there is no report at all, no negative report. Yes, I am so sorry. Even I lose my audit, I will not do this. I bluntly said. I called the corporate office, head office, where I have been appointed, received the appointment. I told this guy is doing like this, please take necessary action. I sent it firm words to them, and I said, you will be, don't worry, you will be taken care of for the entire 3 years audit. No threatening by anybody will not survive here. Please be assured. And I had done my job with responsibility. That was one of the major bank where the big ticket loan, you must be knowing.
Yes.
I don't want to spell it. Corruptions were
Yeah. So this is a real challenge we face everywhere. But he pointed out one thing, just I want to supplement to his contribution. See, there is an, though the topic for me for discussion is
decades before.
concurrent audit. But I want to touch upon the statutory audit also, because we are going to face the statutory audit immediately. There is a compromise proposal from the management, management in the sense regional manager or zonal manager or the branch manager, whatever be the capacity. They tell, sir, whatever be the serious observation, please don't pass a MOC. But instead, whatever you have a free liberty to write everything in the LFR. If you yield to it, it is a nothing but a suicide. The reason is that because having understood the seriousness and implication, what is the impact in the profitability and the asset classification, if you fail to pass an MOC, you are also party to it. But if you don't mention anything, that is different issue altogether. You can even in any investigation on the party comes later, you can say it is not within my sample size. Like that, you can try to escape. But having mentioned in LFIR, why you are not passing MOC? It means you are also party to it. Please don't do this kind of things. But whatever you does it and the branch auditor at the head office, no, when we sit this central statutory audit, he used to go through the MOC as well as the LFR. If any serious comments in the LFR, whether it is reflected in the MOC, that also we will see. If it is not there, we will call the auditor once again. What's the problem? Why you are not passing MOC? You pass it now. Otherwise, you withdraw your comments in the LFR.
They are not ready to do that. Branch level, they are detaching that part.
But that and all,
it is possible.
That is also not possible in the present scenario.
Present scenario, I am talking about decades before.
See, in olden days, see what is the difference between the...
I came to know that I really shocked.
See, no, what you are mentioning about a decade before. Because now the main statutory audit report format has undergone change. Because of the olden days main statutory audit report, where there is no provision for the number of MOCs passed by the statutory auditor. There was no such provision. Even if you pass 10 MOCs, they can remove 2 MOCs.
Sometimes they are asking to give it to branch only. They are not asking to send it to a corporate office. But I said, no, I will send it to corporate office.
Yes.
I registered post.
See, for sending it to the branch, giving it to the branch people, for the convenience they are telling. But in the appointment itself, they used to mention name of the statutory auditor to whom you can interact, to whom you can submit, and the address of the accounts department of the bank, to whom you can send
No,
the
they live
mail
to the
report.
zonal level. Nowadays, corporate level.
So, a lot of challenges are there. Now, here we will come back to this independency of a concurrent auditor. So, I want to emphasize that even though the concurrent auditors are appointed by the management for the benefit of the management, there is an independency is available. So, please you keep it in your mind when you take up an audit and when you deal with the various challenges during the course of audit. Further, it says that the auditors are required to verify the transactions into two types. One is the normal regular transaction which are the serious in nature or which are more important in nature. So those things you will have to differentiate. Accordingly, you will have to do the verification. So the transactions which are in the routine nature, you need not spend 100% verification. On the other hand, transactions which are very sensitive in nature, those transactions are to be verified substantially without any sample sizes. So the example is cash transaction, cash receipts and payments. So we should not take any samples. But check clearing and all, you can do the samples. Branch expenses. I come across a lot of siphoning of funds are happening in the branch expenses by the branch people. Left and right they book and expenses without supporting bills, without any proper approval. So those expenses ought to be verified 100% without any compromise on the samples. Similarly, digitalized transfers like RTGS, NEFT transfers, we come across a serious lapses. So these things ought to be verified 100%. Yes, sir.
Give your expertise, how to make it simple, so easy to do this concurrent audit, using digital methods or data analytics, something where I can play my role perfectly without losing any risk or audit risk. Can you at least?
Sir, here the one major source of information available to the concurrent auditors to do the justice is the exception reports. Because in the system era, though it is an advantage for speedy transaction and arithmetic accuracy, all these things are happening, but a lot of inherent weakness also is there. To overcome this inherent weakness, so the information which are very handy in nature, this information could take care 70% of your regular report. So that information is coming in the form of exceptional reports. So the exceptional reports are generated from the system on daily basis or on weekly basis or on monthly basis or on quarterly basis, depending upon its sensitive nature. So first thing when you step into the branch, first you find out which software they are using. Then what are all the exception reports are available. For this kind of an exercise, please don't leave it to the assistants. Please you go through personally. First month you spend little more time. First you find out, you note it down what are all the exception reports are available. First thing is availability of exception report. Then second one is, okay, the exception reports are available. To what extent is reliable? This is 100%, 100 million questions. The reliability of exception reports. I have seen many exception reports which is not throwing the correct status.
Tampered.
Yes.
Tampered.
So, first one is having received or having accessed the exception report. Then again you have to spend time on the exception report, the genuineness and the factual information provided in the exception reports. After that only you have to take a call whether you can rely on such exception reports or not. So this is how you could do it. If you could do it, yes, pardon?
Can be allowed to take directly the system.
Yes, these exception reports, 90% of exception reports are under the concurrent auditors menu only. It is available. So you can download it, no issue. But there are certain reports which are vital in nature, it is not being allowed to the concurrent audit. I don't find anything for hiding such information.
What upon not allowed?
Pardon?
What upon not allowed?
They say it is a system. No, system is framed like that. We cannot. We are helpless. So no. There is no such thing at all. One small example is bank, and the bank guarantee is given on which the deposits are lien marked. Okay, whether the deposits really lien marked in the system or not. So that option is not available to the concurrent audit login ID.
Only in the original document. But
So is it not a fundamental requirement of a concurrent auditor to check whether the lien is marked in the system or not. So this login ID provision, login ID, this particular option is not made available to the concurrent audit. Like that, there are many number of options which are not available to the concurrent auditor, which are very vital to do his day-to-day work. But when you take up with the top manager, they'll say, what to say? So we bought the software from the purchase it, so we cannot alter. If you want to alter it, customize it, then they will ask in dollars. So that's why let it go. We are going to change the model. That time you will not face this problem.
But you are left out with the audit. You are left out with the audit.
No, left out with the audit. You are again. Then if you want to satisfy yourself, you are at the mercy of the branch people. So you have to use their login ID and you have to check whether the lien is marked or not.
I have to report on this.
Yes. So that for that only you have to depend on the branch people.
I can say
Yes,
scope
sir.
scope restriction.
Yes.
I can put it in scope restriction.
Scope restriction we can mention. Now, see what is the real powers of an concurrent auditor? Can we question? Do we have any judgment of each and every action taken by the branch people? What is our role? Which one to be commented? Which one not to be commented? To what extent we can do
Follow-up
it?
is part of the scope.
Pardon?
Follow-up is the part of the scope.
Follow-up is secondary. Follow-up is secondary. First thing is whether he does it rightly or wrongly. Which one is right, which one is wrong? How you will decide? Can you take your decision, your principles, put him before him and say no, you should not have done it like this?
SOP.
Because auditors, the concurrent auditors cannot sit into the step into the shoes of a bankers. The fundamental principles of concurrent audit system is we cannot step into the shoes of a banker for that taking decisions. For there are two borrowers who step into the branch. Both of them are having the same level of papers and CIBIL score and all, both of them are having similar. In fact, the second person he is having much better, whereas they have sanctioned first person, second person they have not sanctioned. You cannot question why you have sanctioned first person, why you have not sanctioned second person. They say, my assessment according to me, I feel this, I will be able to recover this person, that's why I am giving. I am not able to recover. My confidence breaks.
Supported by great worthiness.
So, you cannot question each and every decisions of the branch people. But at the same time, shall we accept whatever they does it? Then what for we are here? Then what is our report mechanism? Here only it plays. So our role is to check whatever action taken by the branch people, whether it is in accordance with their management policies and principles. So our role is simply we'll have to copy, find out, match 1-to-1. Whatever be the loan policy, whatever be the operating model, whether it is being followed for day-to-day transaction. If it is not followed, then you comment. Otherwise, don't comment.
So most of the job loan applications are not signed by the branch manager.
Documented for it. Documented
Applications are incomplete.
Sir, in fact, this point I took up day before yesterday presentation. I started with the security. Securities which are offered to the bank, of which security is the very safest security. Invariably, all of you will come out and say gold. Gold is the very safest security. Everybody thought. In fact, there are two loan portfolio which was treated as outside the prudential norms. What are the two loan portfolios? What are the two credit portfolios? No. Outside the prudential norms.
Jewel loans and FD loans.
Jewel loans and FD loans. But as of now, what is happening? Two also is brought into the prudential norms. But even before that also it was very much in the prudential norms. But this banker, they fooled each and every auditor, saying that sir, it is safe, it is not within the prudential norms. Now what happened last week? The newspaper, you might have read in the newspaper, the RBI cautioning there is seriousness lapses in the gold loan. They want the banking sector, you are the manner in which you are giving the gold loan. It is very unsafe. It is not correct.
Second appraisal signature they are not getting. Within the time the loan is paid.
Sir, I am asking a simple question in the gold loan portfolio where you see, I am not going as per my presentation, friends, because my purpose of visit is to let us understand, chat, because we are coming here in the evenings. I don't want to reading it on the slides and just allow you to sleep, half wake. So, having he raised a topic on the gold loan, which risk is the highest risk? Can you tell me? Which risk is the highest risk?
Is
Highest. High risk.
High risk.
fake gold.
Fake gold. Impurity. Then,
I give you one example also.
yes, sir.
In one bank, I went to check the gold jewelry. There was half kilos of gold. I checked the ledger. The loan was for 1 rupee.
So, which risk is the highest risk in gold loan portfolio?
Half kilo gold, 1 rupee.
No.
But I asked the manager, what's the problem with you? Are you crazy? Then he said, sir, this is an arrangement between me and my client. Don't come and ask.
More than risk, the fraud can happen where loan is.
But there is a risk.
Loan is?
fully paid and jewel is not taken out.
This is we cannot say it is a risk. The
It's a
bank,
potential fraud.
we cannot say it is a risk. Risk is where there is a problem in recovery, there is a threat in recovery. See, shall I tell you which risk is the highest risk in the gold loan? Ownership is a real risk. Ownership of the gold. See, he said there is impurity. Impurity only for that we are engaging the appraiser.
How do you establish ownership? Source.
The real challenge for each and every packet of the gold loan is the ownership. Who is the owner? Can the loan be given to the person whoever brings the gold? Then all thieves, they will come and step in the bank and they will pledge it, they will be happily, they will go. Whether they are permitted to do it, they are supposed to establish the ownership. But knowingly or unknowingly, this risk is not considered at all. They are taking this risk as a business risk model. Gold loan business risk. They are because of it is happening in decades together. This risk is vanished. But inherent risk as per the gold loan portfolio, a gold loan cannot be given to a person other than the person who owns the gold. Because if you go through the gold loan application, you will find that gold is owned by me. So that undertaking letter invariably it is written in a small font which cannot be read, like cigarette is injurious to health, smoking is injurious to health, like that. So inherently weakness, inherent risk is the ownership in the gold loan. So
it's heirloom jewelry.
Ah.
You can't question.
Which one, sir?
You can't question with they will say ancestral.
Exactly, that is the reason. That is the reason, even though it is an inherent risk, the bank are not taking it granted. Because they go by in percentage. So out of 100 cases, how many cases will fall under this one? So they compare these two and they try to lend it. But principally, fundamentally, a gold loan cannot be given to any stranger who comes of third person gold. That is the reason the loan cannot be given to a pawnbroker. Because pawnbroker, he is not owning the gold. If he is his own gold, if he pledge it, no problem. But whatever their customer gold, he cannot repledge it. That is not allowed. So like that, a lot of challenges are there in any portfolio for that matter. So now we will come back to this. So concurrent auditor, he cannot sit into the judgment just like that. But however, whenever the banker's decision or action is deviating from the management policy and rules and procedures, under those situations, they are required to comment in the report. Then second situation is that if it is non-compliance of the RBI regulations. Now the problem arises. Who is the regulator for a banking? No doubts RBI, Reserve Bank of India. If you come across a situation, RBI laid down certain circular, certain the guidelines, but that circular or the guidelines are not followed by the bank while sanctioning the facility or monitoring the facility or for day-to-day operation. In such a situation, whether you are required to comment or not, this is a matter of question. Because if you mention in your report, immediately your big boss, they will call you, they will tell, sir, it is only the RBI visa with the top management. Why you want to unnecessarily poke your nose? You are appointed by the management. You see to it whether the bank management policies are being followed or not. Why you stretch it beyond that? Now we are in a dilemma whether should I mention such thing or not. Shall I give one example? RBI from time to time they issued a circular on the current account requires discipline. The crux of the circular is that a person who avails the working capital facility are not supposed to maintain the current account with the same bank or any other bank. Because to keep a check on the diversion of funds. Because if a person he enjoys the facility from the State Bank of India and maintains a current account with the Indian bank, after availing the cash credit facility, he will all his business proceeds he will deposit in the Indian bank and he will encash it. Ultimately, the cash credit facility of State Bank of India become NPA. To keep a check on this, to avoid this kind of misusing the facility, the RBI has issued a circular. But how many banks are following this circular? Have you come across the cases where
even
the
you keep one current account there, only certain process will be taking here and other going to that.
That is
bank.
also not correct.
That is also not correct.
Not correct as per the
So you
RBI.
saw some transactions.
So, is it not a deviating the RBI circular? Now, my question before you is, should I mention in my report or not? Because it is management, they never they never bother about this. They want only the business. Can we keep? Can I go align with the management decision, or should I mention? Should I comment in my report?
Because RBI.
But you are appointed by the management to look into the management decisions.
But banking is, basically RBI is
This is against the rules.
So here we'll have to comment. Now we have to step into the shoes of the branch people and comment, no, what you have done is wrong. So it should have been like this. So here though the management says, we only appointed. Yes, you only appointed, not because you have a very affinity towards me. Because of the RBI who insisted to have a concurrent audit system by way of a circular. Based on that only you have engaged me as a concurrent auditor. Ultimately, my onerous responsibility with the RBI as well. So,
self-transfer should not be allowed, no? From working capital account to current account in another bank or branch. It will be considered as a self-transfer, correct? So that system should not allow.
no, but the point is, what I'm trying to tell is the person should not have a current account at all.
When though he has.
Why is self-transfer or third party transfer? I am not supposed to maintain a current account with any other bank.
Any other branch.
If at all I maintain, I should get the prior permission from where I am enjoying the facility.
So, but up to 5 crores something,
Yes. Here the RBI says, then see, the RBI, the relationship between the RBI and banks, what is the present relationship, you know? It is like a relationship between the parents and the children. So each and every parent, they want to bring the child according to your particular discipline. They want to bring our children according, bring a discipline. But when the children ultimately, they will not follow the parents' advice. They'll take in, without any discipline. At one point of time, what the parents will, if fate is like this, let it go. Let them go and suffer, then will they realize. So that is ultimately each and every parent will conclude it. Similarly, the RBI also, they wanted to bring some sort of discipline, where the bankers are not prepared to follow the discipline. They reduce discipline. Ultimately, the discipline is, it vanishes. This is what has happened even in the current account. So, in fact, in the recent, about a matter of 5 years, they have issued about 4 to 5 circulars related to this current accounting discipline. The first when they have issued a circular, and the last which they have issued in 2021, vast changes. So in that only the RBI has categorically they has divided the borrower is a large borrower and other borrowers. In the case of large borrower, they are not supposed to maintain the current account without the permission from the bank where they are giving the loan. In the case of other borrowers, the borrowers are permitted to maintain the current account. But they have to give a declaration to the bank stating that their overall exposure is not fall under the large borrower. So once it touches the large borrower threshold, then they will inform the banker. Like that, one disclosure is that. But even after disclosure, the bankers are required to monitor the current account which they maintain elsewhere, because it is a part and parcel of the banker to check there should not be any diversion of funds, business credits. So the responsibility is still in the
change rates, A to B, B to C.
Yes.
3.
Yeah. Yes.
That is the scam happened.
Yes, sir.
One of the method.
Do you think the concurrent auditor has to check Anti-Money Laundering Act also?
Yes, of course. This is one of the fundamentals, sir. Money laundering, whether money laundering is happening or not, that has to be checked by the concurrent auditor. This is the area where you are supposed to verify 100%. So here you will have to verify high value transactions in the current account or SB account.
No, because you didn't mention that. You only said prescription of the RBI. But I am only asking you why the Anti-Money Laundering Act is not included there.
No, that is given by the bank.
Bank itself.
Management itself is mentioned.
It is there. So you are supposed to verify that also. In fact, my other subsequent slides you will come to know what is to be done. See, the one of the pathetic part of the concurrent auditor, the responsibility of the bankers will come to end the moment the account is opened, either savings bank account or the current account. Whereas the concurrent auditor responsibility is not come to an end the moment he verified the genuineness of the KYC forms and other things. He is required to monitor the genuineness of each and every transaction carried out in the each and every new account for 6 months. This is a responsibility of the concurrent auditor. For all new accounts opened, for any new account opened in the branch, it is now our responsibility is not come to an end. Once it is opened, even after that 6 months, we have to continuously monitor all the accounts opened. Is it possible? When the banker they themselves they are not given such a responsibility, whereas we supposed to do the responsibility. This is the situation.
Most of the time CBC audit will not work.
Yes.
That is the real problem.
That too, whatever is given to the concurrent auditor, it will not work.
Even bankers, how do you know? Branch is able to understand, identify how many concurrent account he is having with the different banks and different branches. Only the bank grid can tell this.
They are supposed to use there are agencies, no, like other agencies are there. Through them, if you mention the PAN account, nowadays you get all the accounts, whatever accounts which are linked PAN number in various other banks that will come to your desk.
Yes.
They have to verify.
Yes.
So like various information through which supposed to verify and they have to satisfy before opening any account, particularly current account. That is the reason past by opening a current account it is not an easy. Nowadays, the branch managers, branch people are asked to personally go and visit the premises and check whether he is really doing the business or not.
Some banks for environment, they want us to open a current account.
Yes. So now, the planning of audit.
Not answer to my.
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
As a branch manager, he is opening a current account for a person, a business person. How the bank itself is able to identify whether this person is having different current account in different banks and which branches? How will it work?
Well, for that only, CRIF report is there.
Nowadays only it is that.
Yes, nowadays only.
Those days.
No, see, we are not talking about those days. Only now,
Even
because the recent circular on the current account requires discipline, which was issued by already in 2021. So this 2021, this all the facilities are very much available.
Yeah.
So with that facility, they are supposed to verify.
They have to call for the grid.
Yes, this is what is required. When nowadays, when a
The
person
same auditors can give to see.
which one?
The concurrent auditor able to see.
No, this that login provision not made available to the concurrent auditor. So that is a problem.
Why?
Wherever there are certain critical information where it is required to validate a particular transaction or an instant, it is not available to the concurrent auditor. Again, let it go at the mercy of the branch people to get such information. So now we move on to this planning of audit. The planning of audit, the audit plan should properly capture the work area, the staff allocated, the dates, months to be checked, and expected dates of completion. The audit plan should ideally be reviewed once in a quarter to address any changes in the branch operation. Audit plan is a dynamic document. So whatever we plan for any concurrent audit, so we cannot say it is in the same Bible forever, because periodically it has to be reviewed. What is the reason? Why the periodical revision is required? When the branch setup is same, why it is required? Because the branch people who handle the different portfolios are always, they will be changing, isn't it? The last month one credit officer, he was there, now he got transferred. In his place somebody, person has joined. Then operations, one person, he was there, he got transferred. In his place somebody has come. So the manpower is keep on changing, the manpower keep on changing, the understanding, level of understanding, the perfection in carrying out the work also will undergo changes. So when these changes are taking place in the branch activities, so we also, our perception, our level of verification and the area of verification also needs to be in align with the person who are handling the respective areas.
No, the staff means our staff means.
No, not our staff. Bank staff. Bank staff, when they keep on changing, here I am explaining to the point of it's a dynamic. Audit plan is a dynamic document. In that I am saying why it is a dynamic document. Why can't be a static?
I was thinking about the audit staff. I was
No.
about audit staff changing, go on changing.
See, when the branch is same, why you want to review the audit plan very often? What is the reason? I am trying to explain, justify the reason for review of the audit plan, because the people who are handling the various portfolios or keep on their changes. When they change it, then definitely the quality of such work also will undergo changes. So that is the reason the audit plan has to be reviewed periodically, and the suitable audit plan needs to be changed.
You put the loan proposals and he shifted to loan approval. The segregation duty, whatever he has proposed, he is approving it.
So here there is a weakness in the approval.
Not it.
That's why in the beginning itself I told you, no. So there are the branch managers, the passwords are being shared with the officer. So officer one hand he will enter it, other hand he will approve it.
So the repetition of staff statement once in 3 months, that is the major area. Because for CC accounts,
You cannot
they are
question the
directly
reason
staff
for
statement.
Which one? Yeah, that you cannot
Reason
question.
for change.
It is for the transfer policy. You cannot, here only you cannot step into the shoes of the
Need to
branch
see
people.
whether the same proposal.
Here only you cannot step into the shoes of the branch
You
people.
put up the proposal, whether he is approving the same
No.
thing, then you can approve.
So if ultimately what is the result? See whether the sanctioning authority, whether he has gone through all the points, whether he has applied his mind, that at all it is not my lookout. Whether he blindly he signed it, that is not my lookout. But ultimately whatever is signed, terms and conditions, whether it is in accordance with the loan policy. Only that way only we have to consider.
Now what my point is, the same person is there, your responsibility also increases.
Same person?
Your auditor responsibility increases.
Yes.
So you are mentioned.
Yes, of course.
But
Now, audit plan changes during the course of audit should be properly documented. Then who are all the authorities pursuing the concurrent audit? Nowadays, concurrent audit report plays a vital role because it is being used for decision making by the management. Because whenever the decisions are taken either for renewal of the facility or for granting of a facility or for recalling of a facility or if any concealment of facts or diversion of funds or misutilization of facilities. So one para is given for intended for the concurrent auditor comment or the particular borrower, any comments made by the concurrent auditor that is being also is captured or recorded for the future investigation or any other purpose. So no more, in the olden days they used to tell concurrent auditors it is something like a ritual. Simply they will collect the concurrent audit report and keep it beside, that's it. Nobody will look at the concurrent audit report. This was the thinking. Nowadays the thinking and all is gone. Each and concurrent auditor reports are being reviewed and action is being taken.
first question is, who is the concurrent?
Who is a concurrent auditor? The person who don't have any ambition, the person who is not for money,
Anything happens.
who has to sacrifice his family, who has to sacrifice his wisdom, whatever ill treatment he has to accept.
Something
You will be
happens.
asked to sit next to the bathroom. I would say that many concurrent auditors seating arrangements, they will provide only a very neglected place. That is a place identified for the concurrent auditor seat. Then the facility, the RBI says in its circular, there are certain basic facilities are to be made to the concurrent auditor. Whatever the infrastructure should be provided. So the infrastructure means by and large it is a system and table chair. I do not know how many table chairs are in good condition. The chairs which are broken will be removed from the concurrent auditor. Then the display in that somebody's broken chair is being replaced. The system keyboard, whatever broken keys of this bank people, that will be replaced. So we should have a patient.
Rise to the occasion.
Pardon?
You should rise to the occasion and check it.
Sir, everything is possible in our country, sir. Well, what is the solution?
Yeah, that
How
messy.
long? How long it will take to get a remedy? That is the problem.
Should not accept. Should not accept. I
Correct.
reject and write. I am not accepting your audit.
So if you reject and accept, nobody worries. Nobody is bothered, sir. Nobody is bothered. Do you think if you say that no, I don't like this kind of treatment and arrangement, I am resigning, do you think they will come and beg you, sir, please take back your resignation?
You have to rise to the occasion.
They will think this evil will let it go. I will wait for a very charmful auditors to come
I
and
resigned 3 times in my life for
he will sit with
as
me,
chief
he will chat with me and he will find out my problems and he will try to accept my problems.
Yeah, honesty, integrity is not there. You have to rise. You have to raise your voice. That is my motto.
Unity is strength. So you cannot raise individually. If you raise individually, you will be.
Sir, I have been
you will
gone for threatening cause.
Correct, sir. You know. So this is the other side.
No,
Okay.
They are making the concurrent auditors some banks.
And that's why I never accepted concurrent. be frank, honest.
See, you know what happened to the concurrent auditors group? We know very well there are, in fact, majority banks, they initiated for the concurrent auditors group. The moment concurrent auditors group formed, all the concurrent auditors, they one after another, they raise a particular issue, then it will be an embarrassment to the management. Ultimately what happened, no? Nowadays the concurrent auditors group are removed. There is no such concurrent, if at all the concurrent auditors group is there, you are only to read, not to post it. This is how it is happened, sir.
This December fees is pretty, January fees.
Nowadays, see, that is the reason. Everybody, each and every concurrent auditor, he started raising an issue. One person says, my system is not working for more than 2 minutes, nobody is addressing. Another person will say, that my login ID is locked, nobody is prepared to open it. Then third person will say, my fees is not received. So many nuisances.
Even statutory audit is happening, sir. In statutory audit is happening, sir. They are covering, see, any report you want to see.
Zonal manager, please release the
System report.
That's it.
They are covering certain portions. They are morphing the portions and giving the report to them in system. By the system people, they are doing it, which I could catch. I could catch and refused to take that report. I reported this morphed report. It is a tampered report.
So, various
Because
problems
that
we
columns
face.
only you will be reviewing directly. They know this guy will going to see that column. They are covering them. Hiding that columns.
Yes. Everything is happening. So, our concurrent auditors are being reviewed by various authorities, various agencies. Then what are the existing banking practice and the guidelines for bank audit? The concurrent auditors are required to update the various circulars issued by the RBI as well as the internal circulars. Nowadays, the advantage available to the concurrent auditor is that the bank circulars, so that facility is available to the concurrent auditors. Anytime you can go and search the circular which is required for taking a certain decision. So that information is available in the portal. Then execution of audit staff appointed for audit should have a computer knowledge. Ask the bank management to provide on-site training of computer system. One of senior member of audit team should also attend this training. Go through the appointment letter and the audit material provided by bank. See the percentage of checking is to be done as per the appointment letter and ensure that same is adhered to. A checklist covering audit program should be provided to audit staff along with percentage of checking to done as prescribed by bank. So execution of audit. So this is one of the foremost important for a concurrent auditor is that, see, even though we do the verification on daily basis, you are asked to rectify the mistakes then and there. So the expectation from the concurrent auditor is that it is my responsibility not only to find out the mistakes, I ensure that the branch people should rectify the mistakes immediately or within a less of time. How it is possible? When one payment is made without the customer signature or the signature varies, he left. Now we are commenting the signature is difference, or we are saying that without the signature the bank has made payment. Now how they will rectify immediately? Unless otherwise the next time when the customer comes, then they will rectify.
Even if you look at the locker agreement,
yes.
Who is signing the agreement is name is not there, only one scribble is there,
Yes.
and seal is not there, and which date is not there. Who is signing at the particular time, and the agreement is not there. So these are all small things. They ignore.
So such things are happening. In that scenario, how can we complete the report without mentioning in our comments, in the commenting the observations in the report? Here, for that only, query sheet plays a vital role. Query sheet means whatever our observations on daily basis by our article clerks, you tell them to note it down in a query sheet and share the query sheet with the branch head of the branch and get it acknowledged. Because what happens when you finalize the report, that time when you discuss the points with the head of the branch, he will say these points are not brought into my knowledge. Had it been brought into my knowledge, I would have rectified it. I will ensure that it is being rectified. But when you bring it to the knowledge, definitely the same thing it is going to be there. But that is the reason. But in the first scenario, we are giving an opportunity for him to get some excuses. To avoid these excuses, the query sheet plays a vital role. So the query sheet has to be prepared and it should be handed over to the branch people and keep it as acknowledgement. Unless otherwise the query sheet is attended and it is completed according to our expectation, we should not ignore such queries. Then let it find place in the final audit report. So here the quality of our report plays a vital role. We come across a scenario where few of our friends, they used to mention in majority cases KYC complaint is not obtained, KYC documents not obtained. In few instances, application forms are not filled up like that. So it cannot be the report cannot have any sentence, sweeping statement without any reference to the particular whatever be the observations which you are pointing out. So whatever our observations, it should be backed by an instances. So it cannot be a vague statement. This is what is expected from the concurrent auditor. Facilities for the effective concurrent audit that we have discussed. The reporting system. So if any frauds happen in the branch, what is the responsibility of the concurrent auditor? Here also I am telling you, if any frauds happen, immediately the CBA or the investigation authority first they will find out whether the branch is under the concurrent audit. If it is under concurrent audit, immediately they will call you and they will ask you, have you gone through this transaction? Have you commented in your report? If you say no, I have not commented, why you have not commented? So there is a lapse of your professional response. So when you come across any fraudulent transaction, whenever fraudulent transactions are detected, they should immediately be reported to inspection and audit department, as also to the chief vigilance officer as far as the branch manager is concerned. Follow-up action on the concurrent audit report should be give high priority by the controlling office, inspection and audit department, and rectification of the features done without any loss of time.
What is the previous slide?
Previous slide. That is the reporting system. To whom it should be reported, what is the periodicity, all these things.
So what is ACD?
Audit committee. So audit committee is that they are ultimately the entire concurrent audit and its observations are being summed up.
Sir,
Whatever building.
I just sorry to ask this question. I am not doubting integrity of staffs in the tellers. There was an instance where I have been told during the time of 2 hours, there is a taking out of money from the tellers, transacted outside and bring it back and put into the teller.
Yes,
Is it possible?
everything is happening. Even many instances.
Stock market they are putting in, taking it back within
Yes.
2 hours.
So
And
this is
somebody
also
coming
is
and putting
happening.
it back.
Yes. So that is the reason cash verification, surprise cash verification is very, very
At the
vital.
teller,
Yes.
not in the chest or any.
Yeah, it's
On the
happened.
spot at teller.
Even in one instance where there is a shortage of 90,000. When we found out 90,000, they
This
said.
happened during my visit in Kerala.
So physical verification, surprise cash verification and surprise verification of jewels is very, very essential Because we come across instances there is a gap, shortfall in the number of joint packets. There is a shortfall in cash. So all these things are happening. We'll have to be very careful.
Because I noticed one teller, the other guy is putting one bundle here. Another guy is taking another bundle there. He is giving back, and why they are transacting in between? I got it out.
Yes.
Immediately on the spot, stop it. I want to check. They are sharing. Between tellers they are sharing.
Yes.
So make up.
That is not correct. Each and every teller they are supposed to maintain a rough book and they should tally the balances. So scope of concurrent audit. What is the scope of concurrent audit? Scope of concurrent audit, it goes first with general banking. Second area is the forex. Third one is the loans and advances. Fourth one is the complaints.
Complaints is a vast one. Which one is complaints? RBI? Only RBI? Or?
Any statutory there is a complaints. TDS also is complaints.
Tax.
See, shall I tell you one instance, one thing happening in the banking industry? Have you come across the customer identification? Customer identification, it is where each and every borrower or the customer, they have given a single reference number. So that reference number is unique in nature for that particular person. Yes, it is called, otherwise in the application form is a custody. So any number of accounts, any number of facility, he can use it, he can avail it. But the customer ID is common. It is same for all facilities. But here, this is one of the internal control lapses. Just I am trying to tell you. We come across, there are multiple custodies. The customer IDs are given to one person. Even now, it is happening in the banking industry. Even now, it is happening in the banking industry.
What I want to question, whether the concurrent auditor has to check the cleanliness of the place.
Yes.
I have seen in the SBI branches, most of the ATM machines, you go inside, it is like a dustbin.
Yes.
I've seen dogs are sleeping inside. Man, how could?
Yes, it is happening. It has to be commented. That is the reason. See, in fact, I started it after that I left out. The response, shall I tell you the simplest form of the concurrent auditor responsibility?
Sure,
I need not listing out. The simplest definition of concurrent auditor responsibility is his responsibility starts with the branch and opens the premises. Similarly, his responsibility comes to an end once the branch closes its door. Because he is responsible even for the key movement. Who is holding the key? Whether his name is mentioned in the key movement register. To that extent we are responsible. In between whatever is happening, even the cleaning, as you said. See,
RBI is not doing their job very well. RBI is useless. ATM machine, you go there, every machine is said not working. What's the use of giving an ATM machine then?
If the ATM machines are not working for that, the bankers are penalized, don't worry.
One day
Nowadays,
it doesn't want to come out. I was just shouting, oh my God, what happened? Then I went to the manager, I said, wait. Hey, this is not the way you run a bank, man.
We are in the digital era, no? So there are certain problems also we face.
Should have put that in that list of scope of audit, concurrent audit, should verify the cleanliness of the front or decorum of a branch.
It is there.
It is there, sir. We have to report whether the branch is clean, whether they have mentioned the interest rates, updated the interest rates.
All these things,
fire extinguisher, whether it is expired or not. Everything.
Sir, I told
in the
you.
report.
Sir, I told you in the simplest manner. Nobody can list out the responsibility of the concurrent auditor. The simplest thing is to understand whatever branch the happening, you are bound to comment. You are going to see customer survey, customer complaints. customer meeting, whether it is being conducted, whatever the comments by the customer, has it been reported, that also has to be mentioned. Even food, when the staff, when they are taking the food in the desk where they are doing the work, that is also not correct. Then another serious thing is that server room. See, I told you no. Many concurrent auditors, either they will be asked to sit next to the toilet. It is I am telling out of pain. It is a bitter fact, not an exaggerated statement. It's not an exaggerated statement, it's a bitter fact. So either they will be asked to sit next to the toilet, otherwise they will be asked to sit inside the server room. So when you sit inside the server and you finalize the report stating that the server is highly protected with the lock and key. How foolish we are. It's a happening. So like that, there are many questions are there for which you have to answer. But even though you are reaching the, you are not following.
The IT system side. They are asking to comment on the networking where we are not technically qualified.
Yes. Whether UPS is working properly, what is the periodicity of AMC people, whether they are coming and verifying it. All these things are, sir, don't think our management, they are giving you 10,000 or 12,000 rupees just like that. They will extract your blood, don't worry.
The IT system side, concurrent auditor role is there.
What else?
Concurrent auditors, for IT system side also you have to see many things on, besides IS audit.
Yeah. Besides IS audit, you were supposed to check whether login IDs are properly used.
All the IDs we have to check.
Yes. So the scope of concurrent audit is broadly, sir. See, it is a broadly, generally, if you go to general banking, again on tree, and there are like that. Okay, I am slowly taking you slide after slide.
So why it is not their IT system?
Now under general banking, there are various portfolios are there. What are the portfolios? What is the cash management, deposit? Third one is the KYC and anti-money laundering. You ask now why I have not mentioned anti-money laundering.
Anti-money laundering.
Yes, it is there, sir. I cannot explain everything in one.
Itself is a long subject, sir. It's not just a joke.
Everything is a long.
FIU just tell the concurrent auditor, I say, do this one. If you don't do it, then you all ED will come and catch you straight away and put you in the prison.
Yes, exactly.
Enforcement director will come and catch you straight away and put you in the prison. Because the FIU is a very serious matter.
AML really, whether a CA is, I am asking generally. So any audit, specialist audit, we have to be supposed to be done with specialist. So whether AML is a part of specialist audit or whether CAs can do this.
See, it is not that way. See, AML, AML, anti-money laundering, it is a very big topic for discussion. Okay. So whatever extent during the course of your regular checking, if you come across any money laundering, you are supposed to do it. Shall I tell you the instances or the example?
Yeah.
See, in the banking system, there is a practice of identifying inoperative accounts. Do you know inoperative accounts? Where there is no operation continuously for more than 2 years, those accounts ought to be identified as inoperative accounts and should be marked as inoperative. When it is marked as an inoperative, then no further transactions are allowed unless otherwise fresh KYC and a request from the person for activating the inoperative account. Why this one is insisted upon, you know that? It is one of the mechanism for the money laundering, anti-money laundering.
NPA
because many bankers, what they does it through the inoperative accounts, so they will routing in the various high value transactions. Various high value transactions to avoid to conceal the origin and destination of the such transaction. Now the election bonds are coming out, that list has come. I don't know who are all the...
Maybe I have one
petty fellows who will be caught. I do not even we may get one of us where we get some notice from the ED. Because without our name, our identity may have been misused it.
Yeah, because inoperative become negative.
So money laundering is
and balance is negative. Nobody bothers.
yes.
So you will get SMS saying that please do at least one transaction so that it will become operative.
So
But they have done many things out of the we do.
we come across you are supposed to do the high value transactions. In fact, there is a report is available high value transactions of 10 lakhs and above. So every such high value transactions are happening. If you go through, we come across 10 lakhs morning comes from RTGS, same 10 lakhs it goes to some other account evening. What does it mean? What is the reason for 10 lakhs coming? What is the reason for 10 lakhs going? Is it not an money laundering? Is it not anti-money laundering? So like that, if you come across suspicious transactions, you supposed to comment, you supposed to mention. This is where the responsibility of the concurrent auditor plays vital. You cannot say it requires a specialized knowledge and all. Nothing. See the difference between the bankers and you. What's the difference? They put lot of load on the concurrent audit. It's a really pathetic situation. See, if any system-driven transactions, bankers are not responsible. Whereas the concurrent auditors are responsible. Because in the scope of audit, they mentioned that you have to verify the transactions hit in the each and every account, high-value transaction. So the responsibility of the concurrent auditors is much more than the bankers.
That is why in our country, in Seychelles, an auditor who got a client, if you, as you said, if you have just got a knowledge of a suspicious transaction, you are supposed to report to the FIU within 3 days. If you don't do it, your penalty is 1 million rupees.
Correct.
This 1 million, I myself contested in the conference. I told you it's too much. You cannot do that. But the suspicious transaction, as we said, is correct.
Tell me, sir.
Sir, one side
This
is
is
about
correct.
no transaction, but FD interest every month is getting credited. So will it be considered as inoperative?
So it's a valid question which you raised. See here, in fact that is also is there in my presentation. Due to the flow of my discussion, this I took up. Okay, that is also in my PPT. Probably when we pass through, you will come across that also. See, the inoperative definition is that if there is no transaction continuously for two years. So transaction, what type of transaction? One is the customer direct transaction. Customer direct in the sense cash deposit, cash withdrawal, check deposit, check withdrawal, like that. It's a direct transaction. Then other type of transaction is called customer induced transaction. So I have given a standing instruction to meet all my utility payments, EB payments, telephone payment, and the property tax. These are the transactions called induced. Though I am not doing it on my own, I have given a standing instruction based on that payments are paid. Similarly, on the other side, credit, dividend credited, FD interest is credited. So those transactions are considered as induced transaction. When it is an induced transaction, it is treated as the account is operated by the customer. Now, can you equate this scenario with the savings bank account where the savings bank interest is credited? Can you say savings bank interest is credited? This is also induced transaction? No. It is not the instruction by the customer. It is a system by which interest is being credited. Similarly, there are various bank charges are being levied. Can you say it's about induced transaction? No. It is a system by which charges are being levied. So you have to differentiate which one is the induced transaction, which one is a system-driven process. Accordingly, you have to identify whether those accounts are fall under the inoperative account or
also
not.
for FDs, it is system-driven.
Yes, interest.
What is the due date? It's multi-million transactions credited to multi-million accounts for FDs.
Yes.
So it is system-driven transaction.
Correct. Though it is a system-driven transaction, I have given a standing instruction to credit to my account while opening the FD.
Yeah, correct.
So again it's an induced,
It's induced.
not a system driven. See, the difference between the system
On
driven
maturity.
on maturity, or even bi-monthly or bi-quarterly, whatever it is, see, it is being done as per my instruction. When have I given the instructions to the banker, you credit the savings bank account interest into this account? Nobody has given any instruction. Anybody has given the instruction, all the incidental charges, the limited folio charges, and the SMS charges are to be debited only this account, not that account. No such instruction.
So
If any debit or credits in the account is happening without any standing instruction from the customer, those entries are not to be considered for the purpose of identifying inoperative account.
So induced transaction means it is operating.
Yes, yes, it is an operating. So here the responsibility of the banker is to find out the such inoperative account and mark it as inoperative status.
And current exception.
Yeah? Yes.
And current exception.
There are few banks they have exceptions, few banks they may not have the exceptions. But if whether they are marking the such accounts as an inoperative account or not, it is a responsibility of the concurrent auditor to check and validate. We come across there are accounts even though it is an inoperative status, but not marked as an inoperative.
RBI has given instruction not to swipe out that money to the, what do you call that account, what is it? They stopped them. There are no interest charges on the inoperative because they are going negative.
Yes.
And this is notional interest.
Yes.
So you should not do that.
Yes.
That's
When there is no balance in any account, you are not keep on leaving the charges.
And negative,
by
negative,
yes, by debiting the party.
Make it operative, you are asking to do something,
Yes.
deposit.
Yes, this is the only
They are asking
area where
to take loan, sir.
the bankers are
My
taking.
friend has told, he has been instructed to take loan immediately. He has been insisting, bank is keep on calling, insisting to take loan, to wipe out that huge amount in negative, showing in inoperative.
Perfect. Yes.
He asked me advice, what should do?
So various challenges we face. Now the time is 6:40. What time?
Yeah,
What time you want me to conclude? You tell me.
5 minutes break and we come back.
If I give 5 minutes, fine. 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So majority go. Majority whatever you decide, I will go according to that. If you want me to give 5 minutes break, or if you want me to wind up session, because whatever reward I got it before I start discussion.
We are privileged to take your experience. But leave you just like that.
That is a different issue. I am always available to each and every friends, brothers and sisters who need any advice or rather any opinion from my side. This leaving our institute, leaving my being a speaker, or that is at all secondary. I have not come here to stand before you not for the sake of any advertisement or any. I am not suddenly where I go. I used to tell I am not going to stand in any election. My purpose is not for any specific. My purpose is to spend time with you people. That's it. So, whatever doubts or any problems which you face, if you want any second opinion, I am always available to you to express my views on the particular issue.
Sir, can you throw some light on unit inspections? How monthly or quarterly advisable?
Before we proceed, you tell me what time, up to what time I can take class.
7:30, sir. As planned is 7:30.
As planned 7:30.
Sorry.
Because even though I look old, my hair is very grey, I will be able to take class continuously for 6 hours in a day. 6 hours in a day, because when we take I am going to take it on coming Thursday, certificate course on concurrent audit. My topic for discussion is the loans and advances and RBI prudential norms. If anybody is having time, you do come on Thursday. Don't worry about the that you are not registered and all, no problem. We have sufficient seat for you to sit, because after all we are all in one family. So sharing knowledge is very important. So I will be taking the topic continuously for 6 hours, 3 hours forenoon, 3 hours afternoon. Now, so you are all be prepared till 7:30, or if anybody wants to leave early, or anybody feel boring, you are taking liberty to leave, no issue. So now we move to this next under the general banking. Oh, before that he asked, so throw some light on the unit inspection. See, whenever I discuss or take any the presentation, definitely I will never complete my PPT slides. Definitely I end up in 50% or 40%, even 30%. Because the manner in which the people are interacting, the manner in which you people raise various topics, definitely takes my time. So you asked a question on the unit inspection. As per the concurrent audit scope, concurrent auditors are required to go for a unit inspection on quarterly basis. It means for each and every quarter, you are supposed to go for an inspection of all the facilities which are sanctioned by the all the facilities which are in the particular branch. So invariably, not less than 100 borrower accounts which requires the unit inspection for that matter. So you are required to go for the unit inspection for 100 units on quarterly basis. Is it possible? How it is feasible? That all these things are different issue. You will have to do it. Even though you prepare to do it, whether the branch people will cooperate with you to accompany you for unit inspection is another big question mark. So with this, wherever but my humble request to you is that if you don't go for any unit inspection, don't mention that you have visited, because even though your branch people, they will tell, sir, yesterday only I visited, please you mention, you also accompanied with me like that. But don't do it, because we come across various units where the units itself not there. So if such units, if you mention that you have visited the units, then it will be a very serious problem. So if you don't visit due to various reasons, please you record the reason. The branch people are not arranging the unit inspection, like that you mention and close it. So don't give false informations to the top management without inspecting the unit as though you have inspected units. That is totally not correct. It is nothing but actually say.
So if we have leakage of income also we can report this.
Yes. So leakage of income, if they have done the unit inspection, then only they are required to collect the unit inspection charges. But without going for the unit inspection, they will collect the unit inspection charges. That itself is not correct.
No, but for concurrent auditor, they are not charging. For a concurrent auditor visiting the unit, they are not debiting the borrower account.
No, concurrent auditor, he is not supposed to do the unit inspections alone.
Yeah.
He has to go along with the bank
officer.
When he go along with the bank officer, it means the unit is inspected by the bank only.
Correct, sir, but for that they are not charging.
They are supposed to charge. They are supposed to charge. Whenever they go for a unit inspection, whatever be the unit inspection charges as per the service charges circular, they have to correct it. Any doubts, sir? Anything else you require for a unit inspection?
But how do we complete it, sir?
Pardon?
It's not possible to do the unit inspection, but they insist that without unit inspection, report will not go.
Yes.
Then how do we complete it? How do we?
You have to mention that the branch not arranging the unit inspection. This is the only way to report it.
Next week we have to face the same manager. Next week we have to face the same manager again.
Correct. If you don't mention, you will be in trouble. No. Which one is more important? You want to protect your profession. We each and every one know how we suffer to get a CA certificate and became a member sitting here. But we want to compromise our certificate for the sake of manager. That will have to take a call.
As you mentioned, cordial relationship. As you mentioned the initial thing, good relationship with the manager and ABM.
Then only the recourse is you have to call him, you have to bring your vehicle and accompany him in your vehicle and you go with him. This is the only solution. If you want to do things, if you want to maintain a cordial relationship, and offering a coffee and snacks. Now under the general banking, what is the cash management? Under the cash management, first one is that updating cash transactions in computer system without delay. Then maintenance of cash records. And third one is the reversal of entries outstanding in cash in transit account. What is a cash in transit account? Reversal of entries in the cash in transit account. So you come across the branches, how they get the fund money. They get the money from the currency chest. Currency chest, they will be having the cash, that money as and when the branch is need of money for dispensing it to the customers, they will collect it from the cash currency chest. So when the currency chest, when they make a payment, they prepare one transfer voucher. So when the transfer voucher is prepared and it is being posted in the system, when the branch, when they collect the cash, so what they are supposed to do, they will acknowledge the challan and they will give it. Then there are 2 copies will be given, 1 copy they will return as an acknowledgement, then second copy they will retain for giving effect in the system.
What about checks? Checks.
Checks and all, I am talking about the cash in transit, not the checks. So this is called the responding of a voucher. So the voucher which is being prepared by the currency chest, that is has to be responded by the branch. When they respond it, they have to respond it under the same voucher reference number. Then only the voucher gets knocked off. If they don't mention the particular voucher reference, then whatever vouchers generated and posted in the system, in the currency chest, it will remain as an outstanding without adjustment. Similarly, whatever responding entries posted by the branch, using the some other reference, it is showing as an unadjusted figure. So the responsibility of the branches to check on daily basis, is there any unadjusted cash in transit entries? If such things, they have to pass it immediately the next day. Then proper accounting and reporting of inward outward cash remittances, movement of cash between branches and currency chest and reporting thereon, movement of cash between branches and business houses, then cash retention limit. You know what is the cash retention limit? So each and every branch, the controlling office, they fix one retention limit. It means the maximum cash up to which they are permitted to maintain in the branch. So they are not supposed to cross the maximum cash limit fixed by the controlling office. If it goes beyond the particular limit, what is the recourse is available? Can they say that when the customer wants to deposit 10 lakhs, whereas the branch retention limit is 5 lakhs, can they say no, I will not accept 10 lakhs? They cannot do so because whatever customer, they should not refuse customer service. They don't accept. If they accept, then on that day the cash balances will increase, isn't it? Beyond the retention limit. So what they are supposed to do, whatever be the surplus cash beyond the retention limit, that surplus cash they have to send it back to the currency chest. Either preferably on the same day. If the cash is received very last minute, then they are not able to transfer it, they have to send it next day. So this close monitoring of cash management system is a part and parcel of the banking activities. So the bankers are required to check the daily movement of cash and the cash balance. Why? What is the crime if they maintain the cash balance beyond the retention limit? What is the reason? Why they are fixing the retention limit?
Insurance.
So 2 reasons. One is the insurance on the cash. So controlling office, the cash available in the branch also, it is under the insurance coverage. So they fix the insurance on the retention limit. If anything goes beyond the retention limit, so on the particular date, if some theft is taken place, some dacoitism is taken place, then the insurance will cover only to the extent of the retention limit, not beyond that. So that is the reason they insist that cash should be maintained at the retention limit. So here the role of concurrent audit is very vital. It is not only concurrent audit, even statutory auditor. In many reports I find to answer this query whether the branch maintains the cash balances within the retention limit or not. So our people, what they will do, no, meticulously they will note it down the days on which the cash balances exceeded the retention limit. Even with decimal place they used to mention. Is it what they expect from the concurrent auditor? Can't the management, if they want to know in a particular branch days on which it is exceeded the retention limit, can't they generate information at the head office as an exception report? Then why they insist the concurrent auditors to give comment on this? Is it ask the statutory auditor to comment on the cash balances exceeded the retention limit? So there is purpose. There is no purpose. If you mention, note it down, the days on which it has exceeded the retention. Instead, what is expected from the concurrent auditor is that you will have to do the analysis. So what are all the days it has exceeded the retention limit? Whether the branch is taken action. For example, yesterday it has crossed the retention limit. Whether I transferred it today or not. If I have not transferred, it means I have not monitored, I have not taken the proper action on that. Because the day-end balance, it is not within my control. The last minute, if the customer comes and deposits huge cash, I cannot refuse. I don't accept. So invariably, one day it may be exceeding the retention limit. The next day, I should take a necessary action for transfer back to current switches or the nearby branch who is in need of cash. If I am not doing it, it means my monitoring is very poor in the cash management. Then another situation, there are branches where it is depending upon the customer profile. So there are business customers, very corporate customers. Corporate customers, they never deal with the cash transaction, very less. For that branch may not require that much of cash retention. On the other hand, there are small branch where it is located in the nearby market or mall or Taskmark, like that, where huge cashes are being deposited. Then what is required? High retention. So like that, the concurrent auditors are required to do analysis of the situation which are exceeding the retention limit and give suitable suggestions to the management to avoid such occurrence. So merely noting down the dates on which it is exceeding the retention limit doesn't serve purpose. It is not a value-added service. So the management needs value-added services from the concurrent audit. See, one thing I tell you, friends, whatever be the serious criticism by the concurrent auditor, you may not be appreciated. You may be discouraged by either by the branch manager or by any top management. Only it is a passing clouds. But when you firm in your criticism and comments, later they will appreciate. Once you step out, then they will appreciate. Sir, you are the person, sir. You stood by the principle. You only, but for you, we would have faced a problem. Because of you, only we have made a lot of corrections. So please, you firm in your decisions and don't covered by compromising on your decisions by carrying away with the excuses on request from anybody for that matter.
Rights of the manager.
Yes. So this is as far as the cash management system is concerned. Now another important under the cash management system is that exchange of soil notes. I do not know how many branches provide such facilities to the customer, because as per the RBI says, as per the customer services circular, they says the exchange of soil note facility should be made available to any person who comes with the soil notes. It is not pick and choose. They cannot say it is only for the customers, or if outside cash they cannot exchange it. That is not correct. Whoever goes to the bank with the soil notes, the bank should accept the soil notes with certain limitations, certain restrictions. What are those restrictions and limitations? First, let us understand what is the definition of soil notes as per the RBI. It says that soil note means a note which has become dirty due to usage and also includes a two-piece note pasted together wherever both the pieces presented belongs to the same note and form the entire note with no essential feature missing. If a note which is dirty but in full shape but it's dirty, that is a soil note. Second one is a note which is in two pieces. Either that the two pieces is pasted together, then ultimately it gives a full shape. Such notes are called soil note with the essential feature. What are the essential features? Like serial number, Ashok Chakra, and the water line. So all these things are essential features. So if the essential features are still visible even after pasting it together, after joining to the such note is called soil notes. Then what is the mechanism for exchanging soil notes? Where the number of notes presented by a person is up to 20 pieces with a maximum value of 5,000 per day, bank should exchange them over the counter at free of charge.
Agencies are working for this.
The agencies are not supposed to do it.
They are working. Agencies
That is
are
the
working
reason
for
always
collecting
made it
and doing
here.
this.
See, this is one of the serious crime is that if any currency issued by the Reserve Bank of India, it cannot be circulated under discounting or the premium. It has to be exchanged on par. That is a promise given by the Governor of Reserve Bank of India in each and every currency. I promise to exchange for the value on which the note is mentioned. So, if it is not only who will be the person, if they are trying to do discounting of in soil notes, then that is a crime of. Even if they are selling it at a premium, that also not correct. So, soil notes, there is a restriction up to 20 pieces in a counter. If I go with the 20 pieces in terms of number of notes, in terms of value 5,000, any banker and any counter across India, if I go and deposit, they are supposed to accept. If they don't accept, you can lodge a complaint. Then that branch will be
Is that bank customer?
No, walk-in.
Any customer?
Yes, that's why I said it's a walk-in customer. Walk-in customer means
any person.
Whoever person who enters into the premises, branch premises. It's not that they are their customer. It is not that that branch who gave the cash. Even for a cash, he brought it from any other source. That can be exchanged. The next condition is that where the number of notes presented by a person exceeds 20 pieces or 5,000 in value per day, banks may accept them against receipt for value to be credited after. Banks may levy service charges as permitted in the master circular. So if anybody brings more than 20 pieces or more than in value of 5,000, there are certain charges are to be levied. If anybody brings tendered cash of about 50,000, the bank has to look into it. If any person is having the regular business of coming and depositing soil notes of 50,000 and above, then they have to look at very seriously. Why? How come he alone he gets so much of cash?
I'm telling the same thing.
So they have to find out whether genuineness of such exchange of a soil note. He may be an agent. If he is acting as an agent, then action will be taken against the agent. Because no agent is allowed. That is the reason is RBI insisting. So this service, the bank is not rendering the services to the customer or to the society. They are acting as an agent of the Reserve Bank of India. They do the duty on behalf of the Reserve Bank of India, not for their own, not on their own.
Sir, I have a doubt on fake currency.
Yes, sir.
The teller is supposed to deal it off, is it? See, out of 100 notes, the teller finds one note as a fake. So, he has to deal it off.
Okay, sir, wait for another next slides to come.
Okay, fine.
Now, we are moving into the next cash management. Nowadays, cash management ATM and cash depositing machine are integral part. Sir, he was out of curiosity, he mentioned ATM machines are in very bad shape. See whether the ATM machines, whether the air conditioner is working in the
It is
ATM
outsourced. Well, it is outsourced.
machines
It
are
is
not.
outsourced.
So the ATM
always
audit also
trouble
plays a
machine.
vital role.
ATM machine, SBI is always trouble machine. It is not always automatic machine.
Sir,
I can
fortunately,
even write and give it to you.
Fortunately, unfortunately, you are having account only with the SBI. Probably, if you have the account with the other banks, you come to the same conclusion.
HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, they get meet very well.
No, go to Kotak Mahindra, the bank is neat, there is a security guard sitting there, you go there, if you have any problem, he will assist you also. And then you come out, but they charge a fees. But here they don't charge a fees, but then the place itself is so dangerous.
The keypad lights will not be on. Like the keypad will be inside, the light will not be on.
Maybe physical verification.
So, ATM audit also is a part of the cash management, that is also the part of the concurrent auditor's responsibility.
Physical
So here,
verification of ATM.
yes, surprise physical verification of cash, custody of ATM cash and keys, insurance, retention limit of cash in ATM, retention of ATM rolls taken from ATM machines, verification of retail cards in.
Is there any restriction on ATM, number of ATMs by a bank?
No, it is not, there is no such restriction, it is for the banks to decide. Because if they have any number of ATMs, depending upon the area, they can decide. They decide based on the strikes.
Basically, they have to verify, go and check is there ATM is there or not. For bank, a particular branch.
Yes, they have to, no, they have to do this.
They have been throughout your case, it has happened.
They have to do this
Throughout your case, it happened.
study, how many ATMs are there in the particular vicinity, whether they require one more ATM to avoid competition, all these things have to be analyzed. See, ATM you cannot just like that open on place and install. You have to get the permission from the RBI license for the ATM machines. So ATM, when they get a license from the RBI, so you have to justify. See, you come across, there are ATMs which are very close by, even in not even 100 yards, you come across, there are 3 ATMs. On the other hand, if you go to another area where you come across any ATMs in over 2 kilometer stretch, but it's all depending upon the customer usage.
Survey tech.
So customer usage, based on that only ATM machines are being installed and the license is being applied. So verification of cash packets deposited. Nowadays the cash packets deposited in the ATM machines are not happening because RBI has made it clear. See, they find an inordinate delay in the ATM machine not functioning. One such reason is that you come across the ATM machine is under service. Why it is happening? Because the cashier will go and deposit the cash and come back. It takes time. First they will find the balance cash in the ATM machine. Then they will replenish the cash, then they will come. It takes time. So to avoid the substantial time in depositing the cash, now the system has changed. Now they say that cassette. Because cassette means it is a tray. For each and every denomination, therein is identified trays are there. For 100 rupees, for 200 rupees, 500 rupees, the cassettes are there. So in the cassette, the fixed value of the currencies are being loaded in the branch itself, or in the case of outside agency, they with the loaded cassettes, they will go and remove the old cassette and insert they will come. That's it. So because of this, now the servicing time of ATM, cash depositing time of the ATM is reduced considerably. Nowadays, this is how it is being done. But whatever the remaining cash in the cassettes, that will open it very later, and they will cross check with the ATM report where it gives what was the balance. That balance, physical balance, they verify with the system balance.
Maybe possibility of unreliable huge deposit in ATM.
Unreliable?
Huge deposit in ATM. Also, one report has come in auto, they took
yes.
30, 40 lakhs and putting whole day they occupy the ATM.
Yes, yes.
Depositing it has happened. Then they
No,
started
even
reporting
at
to
CDM,
the
it has
night.
it has a capacity, sir. It cannot accept any amount. It has its own limitation. If it goes beyond that particular limitation, it will not accept the cash. Yes. Then RBI ATM license, I told you, reconciliation of ATM account with GL, then maintenance of ATM. So here the maintenance.
Normally capacity.
Which one? Capacity.
Value
Inside the ATM, it may be 50 lakhs, but they will not keep the 50 lakhs in the ATM. Depending upon the consumer usage, they fix the retention for the each and every ATM. If there is more customer usage.
Review over weekly or?
Which one?
They will be reviewing weekly basis.
No. This review mechanism, they will do it once in a quarter or once in 6 months like that. Not so far often. They do it once in 6 months like that.
Yeah, there may be demand for a particular ATM more than the normal requirement. Certain months, certain periods. So the flexibility is allowed.
See, that is the reason. No, here the flexibility is in the form. They know this particular area when it requires more strikes. Where the ATM is situated in a labor-oriented area. So in those places, the cashes are being withdrawn by the workers on salary date or within first 10 to 15 10 days of beginning of the month. So in those days, they expect the ATMs to replenish the cash higher up. Similarly, there are certain festivals. When the festivals are forthcoming, they keep the cash more. So depending upon the usage of the ATM machine where it is situated, so the cash position is being decided. See, the point is that, see, if the cash is not sufficient, if the cash is exhausted, what happens? The message, it will trigger to the person who is handling the ATM machine. So he has to rush to the ATM machine and he has to replenish.
Because when the van is going
Yes.
around.
So if they don't keep the sufficient cash to handle the next visit, he has to again come back. So that is the reason they know for each and every place how much of cash transactions will be carrying out. Accordingly, they deposit the cash. Now, maintenance of ATM here, maintenance of ATM which includes inside the ATM
cash
and
reconciliation.
vicinity of the
Out of question.
Yes.
Cash reconciliation in between the chest and the routers taking cash, going around and putting cash in the ATM. How this getting
See
it
this
inside?
cash.
The statutory audit in the main branch maybe.
No. In fact, there is a separate concurrent audit is there. They to monitor the cash
Movement.
cash with the agents. So whenever the agent at the beginning of the day, okay, so he will draw a particular X amount. For that the voucher is issued. The money will be credited, debited to his current account. The money is given. Okay. Then with that money he will go and deposit the various ATMs. Then immediately evening he will come back with the vouchers of the amount of the cash deposited in various ATMs. Now here the ATM, no branch manager when it is also
signing from bank side.
Bank said no problem
Branches.
because the moment you deposit in the ATM machine, that ATM machine cash balance will go up in the ledger. That's it. Okay.
Somebody should authorize.
No, it is outsourced. No? That's a question of authorization. Further, only it is a separate agency is given. That agency, whether they are doing it or not, there is a separate cell. They will monitor the reconciliation. That is the role of the reconciliation.
You will get the slip.
The ATM machine will give you the slip.
Okay.
Amount of deposit, then it will give the free information. Before the see here, as I told you, the question of depositing of the cash doesn't happening. It is not happening now. Only the deposited cash sets. So the particular machine they want to keep the 50 lakhs cash. They have the cassettes of 50 lakhs, 100 rupees denomination, 200 rupees, 500 rupees. They will go and replace the cassette. They will take it out in the existing cash.
Existing.
This is how
the
it is being
difference
done.
will be the actual deposit.
Yes, difference will be the actual deposit. It is a separate cell which takes care of the reconciliation.
Separate cell.
If the
Yes.
cassette is full, you can't deposit.
If the cassette is full,
Full. Anybody walk-in customer, can they deposit or it will not accept?
no, here, there are two things, sir. One is the CDM, another one is ATM. The deposit amount cash is happening only in the ATMs, where it is only one type of transaction, that is only withdrawals are taking place. But in the case of CDM only, both take place. Deposits as well as withdrawal both start happening simultaneously. So in the case of the CDM, no deposits are taking place. It is a self-depositing mechanism. One person deposits, the other person withdraws.
But the agency is appointed by the main office,
Central office.
head office of the particular bank.
Yeah.
So separate cell of that bank will take care of the audits.
Yes. Yes. Then reconciliation. Now, I want to conclude today's session with an important scenario of master circular detection and impounding of counterfeit notes. I think somebody is asked about the counterfeit note, how to find out what is the mechanism, all these things. Now this circular, it deals with the handling of the counterfeit note. As per this circular, RBI it says any counterfeit note is detected at the time of deposit of cash by the customer. They are not supposed to give credit for the counterfeit note, one. Second one, they are not supposed to return the counterfeit note. Then they should impound it. Third one, they are not supposed to destroy. So if the cashier, when a customer who deposit 1 lakh of 100 rupees, of which he found there are about 4 pieces of counterfeit note inside. So he cannot return these 4 pieces to the customer. When he returns the 4 pieces to the customer and give less credit, that also it is treated that customer, the cashier is also a crime. He is also involved. He is also a party for the circulation of counterfeit note.
So without knowing.
Because I am depositing cash, in that some counterfeit note is there. So you are not supposed to give credit, you are not supposed to return. If you return, what I will do? Because somehow it has come to me out of my ignorance. Okay. But should I absorb that loss of 400 rupees? What I will do? Instead I try to circulate it, try to get away from that. Isn't it? Then you are a party to it for circulation.
I am getting some counterfeit, how do I know?
Yes, that is one of the serious risks each and every person is facing.
Even I am getting from some changes from somebody friendly.
Yes.
He is
So,
giving some note without checking. I am honest.
cashier, if he receives any ATM, the cash deposit, if he found any counterfeit note,
Machine itself will find out.
But here the point is that, see, there are 2 cash dispensing machines. One is the CDM, another one is the ATM. The problem in our country is that invariably all CDM machines having the feature of detecting the counterfeit note. Whereas the ATM, none of the ATM machines having the feature of detecting the counterfeit note. Because it is assumed that the bankers are all straightforward, other customers are all the criminals. It is like that. Even this point is raised in the Indian Bankers Association. Till now, no reply.
The agent's responsibility. When he is
But when
cash from the chest,
when you withdraw the cash from the ATM, if you find one counterfeit note is there, how will you establish the money is received from me? It's very difficult to establish.
a number they are checking and cross-verifying, these are the numbers put into the chest, into the ATM.
So,
Returned from the chest, put it to the ATM.
After receiving all
Verification
procedures
they are
are followed, what do we do with the customer?
Serial number.
counterfeit note?
What do we do with the customer who was given
Counterfeit note, yes. I am this is the next level. So the first thing is, counterfeit note, if it is received and identified as a counterfeit note, he should not accept, he should not account for it.
one. Second one is he should not destroy. Third one, he has to impound. Now the mechanism of impounding is there is an application form. Form is there, counterfeit note. In that he has to mention name of the person who has attempted to deposit, then other particulars, then what are the notes which he has deposited, which is attempt to deposit. So those things are to be mentioned and get the acknowledgement from the customer. That is a problem. So this is a practical problem. So get acknowledgement from the customer, then what they have to do? They have to send it to the local police station and file an FIR. No customer so will do. Even the cashiers, if he does it, he will be in trouble. So that is the reason many places, so off the record, when the counterfeit notes are received across the counter, the cashier, what he will do? Silently he will tell, sir, this is a counterfeit note, either you replace the currency note, otherwise it is your fate. Don't bring me unnecessary procedural problem, then it will be a problem for you as well as for me. Well, let us keep it ourselves.
Of course, if he is getting from the bank ATM, then it is my responsibility. If I am getting from the ATM,
yes,
my
if it is received from the ATM, the customer has to establish the counterfeit note is received from the ATM.
We have to check each and every note.
Yes.
We are not checking at all. Normally it's not happening.
We are taking it
so risky.
We are taking it on the fake.
Trusted way we are taking it
Yes,
as
we are trusted.
all good notes.
But really it has happened in few places, few ATM which has thrown various counterfeit notes. It has happened.
Because they are depositing.
It was reported in the various.
But while depositing also it will not check.
Also.
While depositing also it will not check note.
Yeah, deposit. But when they receive the cash from the customer, they are supposed to verify. If they don't buy, if they are missing out, then there is a possibility of counterfeit notice.
But while giving, it will not be checked.
There is no ATM machine, having the feature of identifying the counterfeit note. It is the fate of the customer who receives the cash from the ATM.
So previously they used to count it.
Big look
Within the cashier will find. Nowadays they use the cash.
That is the reason that nowadays there is a ultralight lamp machine is a counting machine. So each and every currency it passes through the light. So it detects if it is a counterfeit note, it throws out. Because as per the RBI, to avoid this counterfeit note, it has made it clear that each and every branch, the cashier should be provided with the counterfeit identifying machine. Because this is also part of the cash management. When you do the cash verification, you have to check whether the cashier is having the that machine.
He can insert many notes also.
Correct?
You take out the actual true fair notes and put unfair notes inside.
So whether the machine is provided to the cashier or not, this is also a part of a concurrent auditor's comment.
But I am very surprised. ATM not able to detect this is a real big loophole in internal control. Anybody can deposit this.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
Don't use ATM.
Yes, also.
Use UPI. Use UPI always. Don't use ATM. GPay, PhonePe.
Entrepreneur should be returned to destroyed.
Sir, don't worry, sir. You will get the PPT. If you don't get the PPT,
That is not why this system, the method of doing this counterfeit is one-sided. Putting the customer in trouble.
yes.
And
What
certain
to do-
customers an advantage.
What to do? Sometimes it is like that. So, the mechanism for impounding the counterfeit note is that first they have to fill up the form. Along with that, counterfeit note has to be stapled. When they staple it, they should have one seal called counterfeit note seal. That seal has to be affixed across the counterfeit note. So, when we do the cash verification, we are supposed to check whether the branch is having the sufficient form for the counterfeit notes. Whether they have sufficient forms for counterfeit notes. Then similarly, whether they have the seal, counterfeit note seal to affix it on each and every application. So these are the
or more.
Yes. Here the point is that the complaint, the reporting mechanism is that for cases of detection and counterfeit notes of 5 or more pieces in a single transaction, the counterfeit note should be forwarded by the nodal officer to the local police authorities or nodal police station for investigation by filing FIR in the prescribed format. So 5 pieces or more in a particular transaction, if the cashier found 5 pieces or more of any denomination, any value, they immediately they have to fill up and they have to send it to the nodal branch in town. They have to lodge a complaint in the local police station by filing the FIR. But on the other hand, if the number of pieces is less than 5, then in that case they can accumulate the applications together and they can send it to the local police station at the end of the month.
So FIR against the person who is the person.
Yes.
In the counter. In the counter, not
in the counter. Yes. So these are the procedures which are to be followed as far as the currency counterfeit notes are concerned. I think with this cash management by and large we have discussed. So we have 5 minutes more.
So 30.
So with this 5 minutes, if you have any specific clarification or any doubts, you can always you can raise.
So is there any artificial intelligence for replacing so-called this entire seminar audio?
So fee structure can
to save the chartered accountants. At least basic, major 80% coverage.
So you want to save the chartered accountant by introducing a artificial intelligence?
Yes. What you have explained, the laborious job what you are doing, and what you have studied, and what you are going to implement.
Okay.
There is nothing comparison.
If they introduced AI, artificial intelligence,
it is better. We can
focus on sir, if they introduce artificial intelligence, then the chartered accountant no job, they will become the jobless.
No, sir. We can
guidance notes.
Get into development of AI.
Use of AI, guidance notes.
Guiding AI what to see, what to predict. That we can go for rather than not doing laborious job.
Because it requires
today in
testing
ChatGPT, if you put an Excel file, it throws out whatever questions we ask. Similarly, put the text file of the customer, get the output what we want.
It is happening. It is happening. The perfection of such report or such mechanism is not yet stabilized.
Ultimately, it's said.
See, I will tell you, even the identification and the classification of NPA, okay, it is a system-driven process. But how many cases it is successful? In how many cases you come across, even now there are systems not identifying the such accounts as an NPA.
Like you said, contra entries.
Yes. Yes. So like that, see, everything is a system-driven process. It is taking place. It has its own merits and demerits. Still, a lot of loopholes are there. So that loopholes, when it happens, when we have a more and more confidence towards the system, then subsequently, when the loopholes are bigger in nature, it has a very serious repercussion, very serious disastrous scenario. We know very well nowadays
humanity cannot be replaced
by any system, anything for that matter. So all only we are shifting the bug. That's it. According to me, artificial intelligence, they are telling that it is going to replace. They are going to do this and that. Certainly, nothing can be replaced with the human beings. Human beings cannot be replaced because for each and every thing there is an issues also. So definitely there will be a problem because nothing is foolproof. It's all again. It is driven based on the codes. Codes which has some relations from one code and another code. See, even what we what we thought yesterday
ultimately-
on a particular situation, now what we think today, it may not be the same.
The
It'll happen like Gemini.
The time given to you makes you to change your.
Because of the within a matter of one day, it makes your decision to in fact altogether.
Yes.
In fact, you wanted to take a revenge on a particular person yesterday. Now you will take. Why this sort of? I don't know. He is not my level to behave like that. He is a very idiot. Let him go. So you have changed. Whereas do you think this artificial intelligence will do it to that extent?
There is a report on the
Again,
Gemini.
it has its own limitations. Its own
The
limitations.
AI Gemini, that
Any-
report has come, AI Gemini report, how it behaves.
Yes.
It is a huge repercussion even for the CEO of this company.
Yes.
His job is stake.
Yes.
It cannot be taken granted.
So anyway, thank you very much for your patient listening. It is easy for you
How
to-
there was a subject in AI bank audit.
Pardon?
There was a subject yesterday, day before yesterday, on the topic of using AI.
I know
audit.
very well.
Yeah, I have not attended. I think
Yeah, I
that's
know. Yes.
that may be quite interesting. We have to see
See, everywhere they are saying
acceptability of that.
To what extent it is going to be helpful. We do not know.
Acceptability of that.
See, auto reply, customer services, many customer services are being handled by AI. You know what is the response you get from the AI? Whether it is really solving your problems. It is
No,
not
it
happening.
happened one of the cases in the last month. More than 500 to 5,000 customers interest not credited. Whereas at a 1 minute transactions for millions are credited except the 5,000.
Yes.
What is the reason for that?
Yeah,
Nobody knows.
yes.
Where the credit sitting in which account?
Where
Nobody knows.
we have
Nobody
it.
could understand.
Yes.
It could not be traceable also because of one flux of seconds of bugs.
Yes.
Maybe by
It has the
outage
repercussion.
of
At a
data
higher
power.
magnitude,
We
yes.
don't know.
Yes.
It
A
happened.
small power.
I am the victim of one of such
Yes.
point.
Yes.
But please share your numbers. Any doubt you can ask.
So you can take down my number. So if anybody wants to get any idea or any opinion on this, please you send it through WhatsApp because many times I will be in travel. I may not be available.
WhatsApp it's better.
Yeah. So with this, I'll conclude this today's session. Anyway, thank you very much for your patient listening. I am happy to note that all of you are awake, not in sleepy mode.
You made it agree, sir.
I usually started with threatening tone.
Threatening.
It was threatening really to concurrent auditors.
See,
Really.
these are all facts.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
facts.
Not my intention is not to threaten you. At the same time, I want to be cautious
Yeah, yeah.
before you take a decision. That's it. Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. You are standing all the time.